Hi, my name is Jeff Rice. I'm the owner of Decor Designs in Crystal Lake, Illinois, professional interior redesign and staging company. It's my pleasure to have you in the home of Bonnie and Bill Speechley, and I'd like to show you what we were able to accomplish with their recent redesign. One of the beautiful things about redesign is that you can make the most of the items that you already have in your home. The Speechleys have a great collection of antiques, accessories, auction finds, things that they've collected over the years, and we were able to use many of those things in the redesign. For example, the travel chests they've had for quite some time. They're fantastic. We were able to take those and Bill's collection of antique cameras and use those to create a vignette, and all we had to add in was a few soft treatments with the silks and the florals. In keeping with the country farmhouse style of the home, we decided to use some of the existing artwork that the Speechleys had as well. Fortunately for me, they had plenty of artwork to use. They had framed barnyard prints, which worked really well in the living room. Another element that we tried to incorporate was Bonnie's collection of black cat cutouts, and we've used those in several places in the home. It's always a very good idea to have black in a room. It helps anchor the space and gives you a color cue for other areas. And one of the things you'll see in any redesign that we do is that we make the most of what you already have. We took the Speechley's existing furniture and were able to make a few changes in the room simply by angling the furniture. By angling the furniture in any room, it ends up making it a little bit more conversational and less formal, and that's what we achieved here. And one of the things that we wanted to accomplish in this particular redesign was to make the most of the homeowner's existing accessories. We were able to declutter the counter space and the shelf space above the kitchen. We were able to draw larger items into the vignette and create a style and a look that was more in line with the redesign and what the homeowner wanted to achieve. In this particular vignette, we wanted to add the country feel by adding a splash of color, which we accomplished with the sunflowers. We have the grape press here. We added grapes, ferns, ivy, and we also added in some apple blossoms. All of those things helped to soften the edge of the man-made items, and yet they kept in the theme that we wanted to accomplish with this particular vignette. And with any redesign, it is very important for you to have consistency and flow throughout the space. You'll notice in a lot of the vignettes that we've created, we've continued with the floral theme of the sunflowers and the apple blossoms. We also included the homeowner's existing beer and wine kegs, which were very important to her. I can't tell you how many times in accomplishing redesigns for clients, they always say, "My stuff is not good enough." After the redesign is over, they can't believe how good their stuff really looks. From this client's collection, we have a chest, an old sewing machine, and a vintage slot machine. We were able to create this vignette in the corner, making use of the client's existing collection, and the client was extremely pleased at the end result. Before we even began working in this space, I did a color consultation with the client to change the color scheme from the white and bright red that we saw in some of the still photos. Another thing that we discussed was changing some of the hardware and the woodwork to give you a more cohesive look. We whitewashed all of the woodwork. We were able to replace a couple of the light fixtures, and we were able to continue the molding throughout the kitchen and into the other area. One of the things that we did in this room to unify the space was to pick 3 complementary colors off of the same paint swatch. From Sherwin-Williams, we picked Bittersweet Stem, Artisan Tan, and Irish Cream. We had a darker color for the accent, we used a lighter color for the ceilings and the higher walls, and then we used the third color to unify the rest of the space. And the homeowner loves to cook. We wanted to make the stove recess into the space, and what we decided to do after a lot of discussion was to actually paint this area black. It unifies this entire area, it ties in with a black tile, and it makes the stove actually recess into the space, and yet it makes a very dramatic statement. One of the most important things about a redesign is the idea that you really don't have to buy anything to have a decorator look, a designer look. And our tagline is making the most of your good taste for a reason. That's exactly what we do in redesign, is make the most of your good taste. So what was the best thing we were able to accomplish for you here with the redesign? What's your favorite part?
I have to say the mirror that you created inside of my antique door.
Door.
My husband so much hated that, and he wanted to get rid of that. And when you created that on my wall going up my back stairs, it was like the most phenomenal thing that I could have ever experienced.
I know that one of the things that we discussed when we did the consultation before we actually started working was the fact that we needed to declutter a little bit. You had been collecting things for years and years and things that accumulated, and you really couldn't appreciate any one thing because there was just a little too much going on in the room. Were you a little taken aback by when I told you that I was going to take things away or move things, or how do you feel about that now that you see the end result?
I was a little taken back when you said you were going to be removing all the things that I have collected over the years. But again, when I saw how clean and it was just so wonderful to see those clean lines.
We were able to bring a lot back in too, so I think
Yes.
that's important. I think we made the best use of key pieces, and you can still rotate things out. You can bring things back in as you need to. If you want to change things up in a year or so, just because you're tired of it, you need to change. You still have plenty of things to work with. We didn't get rid of them, we just repurposed them.
Right. But the things that you did use that I wasn't aware that could be placed within the house, I never would have realized that. When you took my husband's great-grandmother's antique stroller and the wine press and put it on top of the soffit.
Do you think that by neutralizing the color scheme and going from the stark white and red to a more calming palette, do you think that helps showcase your items more? The paint is not a distraction anymore. It's more of a background, more of a canvas for your collections.
Definitely, because most people they remember my red walls.
Right.
That's what they remember the most. Oh, wasn't your house red? It was like, oh, yeah. But it's funny because my stepson came in and he goes, "What color were the doors before?" I was like, "They were natural." It was like he seemed to think that, oh, this was kind of the way it was before. So, it's interesting. Some of the things that they do remember, even though they were here all the time.
Right.
They just don't remember this.
But that's the good thing about the redesign. It's new, but it's still familiar. Nothing changes that much that you can still feel comfortable. Great. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure working with you.
Oh, I can't tell you.
I hope you love it.
I can't tell you how happy we are. Oh
Good.
my gosh.
Good.
We're so happy.
Thank you.